Canelo Alvarez has officially kicked off training camp for his highly anticipated fight with Terence Crawford. Fans know Canelo never takes preparation lightly, and this camp is already proving that. From sharpening his head movement to testing his endurance on the heavy bag, every detail of his routine is built to get him fight ready.
¡Ánimo, cabrón! ¡Ánimo, Ale! ¡Wake up, buddy! Huh? You wanna be a champion? You need to train like a champion. Huh?
Now let's break down what he's been working on, exercise by exercise. The first thing you'll notice in Canelo's training is the focus on head movement. He's constantly slipping, ducking, and weaving, making sure his reflexes stay razor sharp. This isn't just about looking slick, it's about avoiding those dangerous shots and setting up his own counters. For Crawford, who thrives on accuracy, Canelo knows being hard to hit will be key. Next up is the Cobra bag, a tool Canelo uses to build speed and timing. The bag snaps back quickly every time it's hit, forcing him to stay alert. It's like fighting an opponent that never gets tired, and it's perfect for sharpening reactions. Watching him train on the Cobra bag, you can see how he's building that rhythm he'll need inside the ring. Of course, no training camp is complete without the heavy bag. Canelo uses it to work on his raw power, delivering body shots and combinations with full force. This is where his famous hooks and uppercuts come alive, the same punches that have put so many opponents away. Every session leaves the bag swinging wildly, showing just how much energy he's putting in. Another part of his camp involves the aqua bag, which is filled with water. It's softer than a regular heavy bag, making it easier on the hands and joints, but it also moves unpredictably. That forces Canelo to adjust his shots and improve his accuracy. It's a mix of power and precision training, and it adds variety to his routine.
Dije, pum, 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 pam. Pum, 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 pum. Eso.
Then comes sparring, the closest thing to fight night. Here, Canelo puts everything together, testing his timing, defense, and combinations against real opponents. Sparring is where weaknesses get exposed, and Canelo treats every round as a chance to sharpen his weapons. With Crawford's unique style, these practice rounds are going to be priceless for his preparation. Interestingly, Canelo has also been mixing in some jiu-jitsu training. While it's not something he'll use in the boxing ring, it helps with flexibility, balance, and overall conditioning. Grappling work pushes his body in different ways, giving him better stamina and coordination. For a fight of this magnitude, that extra edge and conditioning could make a difference. Finally, there's shadow boxing. This might look simple compared to smashing a bag, but it's one of the most important parts of his camp. Canelo uses it to visualize the fight, practicing footwork, head movement, and combinations in the air. It's like rehearsing every moment before the real performance, making sure his rhythm and form are perfect. Even though Canelo is leaving no expense spared on his training, it's still interesting to hear what the UFC experts have to say about the impending fight, starting with none other than Joe Rogan. He pointed out how crazy it is for Crawford to keep climbing divisions, moving from 147 to 154 and now straight to 168. In Rogan's eyes, that kind of leap takes guts, especially since Crawford isn't even a natural 154 fighter.
Yeah. But the big money is Canelo.
I know.
And why not do it? I mean, what a ballsy move. You go 47 to 54 and you go right up to 68. That's crazy because he's really not even at 54.
Yeah.
He's taken the fight at 54. He took Madrimov because it was a big fight.
Yeah.
Wins another world title.
Right. And he won that. People were like...
He also stressed that Crawford has already proven he can handle these jumps by picking up titles and big wins along the way, which makes this fight feel even bigger. Then he shifted to the bigger picture, calling this more than just another boxing event. For him, it's two all-time greats colliding, each with their own unique strengths. Rogan highlighted Crawford's slick ability to switch stances and compared it to one of boxing's most respected legends, explaining how dangerous that makes him. At the same time, he didn't shy away from saying Canelo might not be the exact same fighter he was a few years ago. Even so, Rogan pointed out that Canelo still carries brutal knockout power, reminding everyone of some of those highlight reel finishes that once defined him.
Listen, it's going to be great. It's going to be a great fight. You're dealing with two all-time greats. Crawford's one of the best switch hitters, I think, since Marvin Hagler, and one of the most skillful boxers alive. And then you have Canelo, who probably isn't the same guy as he was just like a few years ago.
Right.
But still one of the greatest of all time. Still has brutal knockout power. You know, I mean, if you go back to like some of his, you know, like more impressive fights from a few years ago, like the Amir Khan KO, you know, like the Billy Joe Saunders KO, like those KO, like he's probably not that guy anymore.
Yeah.
But he's still young enough that he's still like pretty close to his prime and one of the best of all time.
I'd like to see him fight.
After Rogan's thoughts, another voice with a unique perspective is Amir Khan. Unlike most people giving predictions, Khan has actually shared the ring with Canelo and also spent time training alongside Crawford. He made it clear that this gives him a rare view of both fighters.
Crawford and Canelo, you've been in the ring with both of them fighters.
I think I might be the only guys that's...
I can't think of anyone else that has, obviously, because there's a big weight disparity between the two. So
I think I'm the only guy that's been in with both fighters. So
when pressed about Crawford's style, Khan explained that boxing on the outside with small, controlled movements is something Crawford does better than almost anyone. He reminded people that against Spence, many thought it would be a tough night, but Crawford made it look easy. Still, he admitted that maybe this fight is the one that finally forces Crawford into deep water.
On the day of the fight.
Okay.
But look, it's going to be a mega fight. Honestly, it's hard to pick the winner. Yeah. But like I said, it's a close one.
I know you said you don't want to say too much, but when people talk about Crawford boxing on the outside and, you know, using it as a movement, almost making it boring in a sense, do you think he can do that with the added weight that gets put on and him boxing in that certain style that we haven't really seen him box like before? In terms of boxing on the outside and almost sort of that stick and movement type.
You're talking about Crawford, yeah?
Crawford, yeah.
Look, Crawford's going to probably do the same thing that he knows best, which is box, be smart, slow movements, small steps. It's only small steps he's taking. So if he, I mean, look, and it's always worked for him. Every fight he's been in, we thought that the fight with Spence was going to be hard, and he made it look so easy. Now, we've never really seen him in a hard fight where we've seen him in trouble, so maybe this could be the fight that puts him in that trouble to see.
Khan also looked at the physical side. He mentioned how Canelo naturally carries the size advantage, but at the same time, Crawford bulks up in a way that makes him look strong at the higher weights. He even recalled sparring with Crawford, describing how surprisingly heavy-handed he felt in person.
I thought Mayweather was just a runner, wasn't he?
Yeah. But, Bivol had the size.
Bivol had the size advantage, but this one, I think Canelo has a size advantage, but then again, I've always said Crawford puts on the weight well. If you look at size of him, you see his picture when he was like 185.
Yeah.
He looked huge, bro. He looked jacked up and he looked strong at the weight as well. I mean, I remember when I used to spar with him.
Another interesting detail Khan dropped was about Crawford's strength outside of boxing. He talked about seeing him wrestle heavyweights in the gym, even taking them down, which shows just how physically strong he really is. It was a reminder that Crawford isn't just about skill, he has raw power and toughness too. He called it a true 50-50 fight because Canelo has the experience, size, and history of being nearly unbeatable, while Crawford has never lost and carries momentum like no one else. That balance is why he sees it as a mega fight, one that could go either way.
Definitely. I mean, always good to see you, mate. Always a pleasure catching up. And yeah, good to see yourself doing well. Take care.
A fighter who knows Canelo very well, Dmitry Bivol, also shared his thoughts. The first thing that came to his mind was the size difference. He admitted that at first he questioned whether Crawford could really move up 2 full divisions and handle it. But after seeing him in Dubai not too long ago, Bivol noted that Crawford looked big and carried himself like someone who could handle that jump.
First reaction, of course, it was about size of Crawford. Is it okay for him to move up for 2 weight classes, yeah, or not? But then I saw him in Dubai maybe a month ago. I saw him. He's big, and he has very good skills. He's one of my favorite boxers. He able.
Even with that, Bivol didn't ignore the challenges. He pointed out that adapting to 168 is more than just adding weight. It's about how Crawford deals with the power and pressure of bigger men on fight night. That, to Bivol, is the unknown factor. He gave Crawford credit for having great skills and the ability to switch stances, but said there are still small questions about how he'll react in this new territory.
But there is a lot of but. And even not but, there is a lot of things, small things, which we don't know how he will deal with this. He need to get used to the power and pressure of 168.
Bivol also pointed to past examples, like how some opponents froze against Canelo, making the fight easier for him.
Sometimes we saw how Canelo was fighting against another guys, like Charlo, maybe Smith, Callum Smith, and we saw the huge difference. I think it's not because of weight class; it's about mentality of.
He doesn't see Crawford as someone who panics, which is why he believes breaking his will might be harder than breaking others. In his eyes, that mental strength is the foundation for Crawford to survive the higher weight and possibly thrive there.
The reason I feel that Crawford has a good chance of winning is because it will be very hard for Canelo to break him, to break his will, and at the highest level, that's what you're trying to do to each other, isn't it? To break the other person's will.
Yeah, it's for him, how I saw him, mentality, he's strong mentally, and he won this fight from the core, how I see, and it gives him credit with this mentality and to get the power from 168.
Bivol said it's not just about mentality or sparring, it's a combination of everything. Crawford will need to spar bigger men, take their punches, and convince himself he's fine under that pressure. If he goes into the ring confident that he can take Canelo's shots and keep his composure, then Bivol believes he truly has a shot to win.
This is, we cannot say just only mentality or only sparring partners to get used to this weight. This is the combination of all of it. He needs to spar with bigger guys. He needs to get punches. He needs to be confident that he's okay with these punches. He needs to be confident that he will go in the ring and he could get the punches from Canelo and he will be okay with this.
From there, the conversation shifted to Shakur Stevenson, who has been vocal about this matchup for a long time. In Shakur's mind, Crawford had the tools to beat Canelo long before anyone else was talking about it.
I heard about this idea when you first heard about it. What did you think of this idea of Bud going up to 68 to fight Canelo?
I ain't gonna lie. I've been putting it out since, I want to say, when he fought Sean Porter. Like back then, if you go watch, it's an interview out there. I had said I think that Terence Crawford to beat Canelo Alvarez right after he fought Sean Porter. So the idea, I've been.
When pressed on why he felt that way, Shakur pointed to styles. He believed Crawford's overall game made him the kind of fighter who could handle Canelo better than most. Even before Bivol pulled off his upset, Shakur was convinced that Bud was the one guy who could make it happen.
That was the right fight.
Because I just knew, like, as far as in that weight class, Terence Crawford is like the greatest. So I just feel as though with Canelo's style and like the style of boxing that he got, I think and this is before Bivol did it, but I thought like Terence Crawford was the only guy who I felt as though could have beat Canelo with his style.
He pointed out that Crawford being a southpaw changes things. In his eyes, that stance alone could give Canelo problems, just like it did when Canelo fought John Ryder. And while Ryder wasn't at Crawford's level, Shakur noticed that Canelo didn't look as comfortable in there.
But, I think Bud is a southpaw. I think that's the part that kind of that's underestimated about the fight. I think him being a southpaw makes it a little harder for Canelo. I think Canelo has some type of trouble with southpaw. When I watched him fight John Ryder.
Yep.
John Ryder wasn't that good. It's just Canelo was fighting against the southpaw, and it made it a little bit harder than usual. But with the Madrimov fight, I just felt like Madrimov is a good fighter, and stylistically, he's a lot different than Canelo.
Even though some experts are riding with Terence Crawford, you can't ignore how locked in Canelo is right now. His training camp looks sharp and he's leaving nothing to chance. From sparring rounds to bag work, every session is building up to the big night. Let us know in the comments below whose preparation you believe will make the difference in this fight.